weeks ago. What they're finding is new kids, new right after college, they're getting hurt by this. The CEO of Anthropic thinks in 5 years, half the new college grad jobs will be disappeared. All right. But those of us who are senior that are really good at what we're doing, I'm 52 now, so I've been doing this for decades. It is making us much more productive, 10x sometimes. And we're going to make so much more money because we know what to do. We can make connections and see some changes that need to be there that it just doesn't see. Okay. We're here to guide it. All right. I don't think it's ever going to replace us. It's just going to make those of us who are senior, who know what we're doing, tremendously more successful. And the problem is with the kids coming out of college is they're going to have a hard time becoming senior because who's going to want to pay them 50, 100 grand a year to do things that I can have deep research do?
No one would pay them. We had a guest 2 days ago on the podcast, Landon Shumway, and that's his whole thing. That's all he thinks about, how this AI revolution will be, and how the consequences of it, and how what we should do in order to adapt. And his recommendation is we need to all become entrepreneurs. All of those kids coming out of college, they should stop trying to get the job, stop trying to apply to the big companies, just become an entrepreneur, because all of those companies, they will rely on AI. They won't necessarily hire a lot of people. So that was
Well, and he's absolutely wrong.
okay.
And this is where we can have different conversations. But let me give you an example. All right, we're still going to need people. AI is not going to replace people. People that know AI and can use it effectively and become vastly more productive will replace people who can't. So let me give you an example. I'm going back to Walt Disney's biography, The Triumph of the American Imagination, this 1,000-page monster. I want you to imagine a student who's gone through that, who's gone through the craft of research. They know context, problem, solution. And they go in, they intern for Disney for several years. Just so you know why the employees are so great at Disney, they're high-end college kids cleaning toilets. It takes 3 years of that before they really treat you seriously. So I want you to imagine they're going in and they're putting up a new hamburger stand, for example. And the person who I've trained could say, you know what? There are two universal themes that Walt uses to go ahead and create the original Disney magic. I'm going to call it classic Walt. This is what he could have, these are my ideas he could have come up with for this. Now, some of those ideas could be a hit, it might be worth a 500,000, it might be worth 10 million. That person keeps their job and they use AI to just become drastically more competitive, more drastically more productive. But they can see some connections that AI, I don't think ever will. All right. So like when I'm using it, okay, for how to improve writing, one example I had was I would have people find a quote after answering hero, universal theme, villain. We'd find a quote, would take, and from that, they'll take a reason why that happened, turn that reason to a simple universal theme, and they would find a quote. To jump them from fifth grade to advanced high school, I had the idea, let's do two quotes. And then I used AI to say, how do I combine what is required for writing body paragraphs for the New York State High School reading and writing test? It's called the Regents exam. And how do I incorporate the craft of research? And it came up with these are the requirements. And I said, tune it this way, come up with this. So once I have the two quotes, there are 5 other steps that it basically writes itself. Massive advancement. Okay. But I had to guide it. I had to see the connections. And then it did all the grunt work for me.
I see.
Because I'm going to give you a little hint. Most people are not cut out to be entrepreneurs. I
That's
know. I've done it.
that's the
I
thing.
actually,
That's what I think.
yeah.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I went to Rensselaer Polytech Institute and I finished their concentration in entrepreneurship. I studied this at the University of Chicago under Professor Schrager, one of the top 5 professors in teaching it anywhere in the country. All right. Very few people are set up for this. But if you go and you become an expert in an area, like I showed you with Disney, You understand the craft of research, context problem solution, which I teach. That's how I get kids to go. I drop context to 9 and 10-year-olds, problem to middle school, solution for high school kids. And the solution is so powerful. You could be assigned Romeo and Juliet, and the student writes a paper that is original.